all the top chefs are men.
They're not. There are some women coming top chefs now.
But most.
Well, they're coming women because, as I tried to say before, it's becoming easier to work with a nice sort of environment. The equipment is there, air conditioning is there. You know, when I started, I was in basement 2. The kitchen was in basement 2. No window, no air. You know, so very tough down in the dark. But now with all of this new equipment and facilities, it's easier for women. And there are a few now starting.
How do you find Thai food?
Thai food, I love it.
Too spicy?
No. I've had the chance to eat spicy food in Thailand, in Malaysia, in Sichuan food, Indonesian food. I love it. So I'm sure you know your massaman curry was recently voted #1.
Right.
Sure you must be happy for that.
Yeah, I'm very proud and happy.
I don't know where the English Yorkshire pudding came or I don't know down the list, but I think you should be happy. Why? It's a nice mixture of meat and spices and peanuts. No, you put in there, no? It's been voted #1.
You have tasted food all over the world.
Yeah, yes.
What are some of your favorite dishes?
Well, as I said, Thai. You give me a nice tom kha kai or a nice massaman curry or pad Thai. If I go to Indonesia, of course, you eat the satay, you eat the beef rendang, or you eat in China, I mean, depending the region, you know, Cantonese or Sichuan, whatever, anything. Peking duck. Europe, nice to have a bit of roast beef. Or you go to Germany, have some sauerkraut. Switzerland, have the cheese. So everywhere.
Do you think French food is the best?
You see, French food, basically a lot of the recipes today are based on the French techniques, because it was some of the French chefs were the first to write recipes, right? So they really are a little bit. They started this whole thing about cooking and writing a recipe, right? But French food was, maybe say, very rich. They use a lot of cream, a lot of butter, right? And everyone being so health conscious now, that's considered a bit too heavy. So there are a lot of French chefs trying to make it a little bit, in French, they légère, not so heavy sauces. There's these sauces which are made from eggs and butter, hollandaise and béarnaise. Well, you eat too much of that, you're full. So they're trying to adapt also to create lighter food.
Do you think Michelin stars are an overhype?
You see, we were just discussing now, I have some overseas judges, so wanted to go. There are 1 or 2 Michelin star Thai restaurants here, right? So the Michelin stars is a grading system, though. It depends. You have the Michelin or the Gourmet, the different. So their criteria, no? Criteria about the food, the ambience, the menu, everything. And of course, to have a 1, 2, or 3-star Michelin restaurant, of course, attracts people because the guarantee is there. But you need a heavy wallet as well.
Right.
And hopefully you're always going to be happy, you know. But, you know, cooking is also a living thing. One day maybe the chef has a bad day, or he doesn't get the product delivered, so you may be disappointed. It may not be the fault of the chef, it may be these things happen, you know. This is a huge thing. And then there were some cases in France a few years ago where the establishment lost the star, like downgraded, and there were 1 or 2 suicides.
Wow.
Yeah, because the prestige of losing a star was too much for some of these chefs. Loss of faith. We're in Asia, no? So it's a very great status symbol. But then you had this recently, was it in Japan? They went there and they found more Michelin star restaurants, I think, in Japan than in the rest of the world. So suddenly, in Japan there were so many Michelin star restaurants because they were providing top quality product, good service, great ambience, but expensive. So,
Alan, what's your concept of cooking? Plain and simple?
Plain and simple. You see, like this black box competition, I can tell you the winner tomorrow will be someone who takes those products we've given them, treats them with respect, cooks them properly, prepares a great sauce, and it'll end up on the plate perfect, right? We were telling them, don't become too complicated, don't make it too sophisticated, don't mix too many flavors, right? Because the customer wants to know what they're eating. You see, nowadays, people know more about food than 10, 15, 20 years ago. They know about the SARS, the foot and mouth disease. They know about all these problems of adulterated food and stuff like that. They know about the health. They know about the cholesterol. They know everything. They know everything about food. You know, in the past, 20, 30 years ago, people didn't know that. So they're all health conscious now. They know about the food. They know from where it comes from. They know the source. So they're more knowledgeable about the food. So if they on the menu order fillet steak with, I don't know, grilled tomatoes or something, they want to see the fillet steak there and the grilled tomato on the plate because they will know that if it says Australian beef, they know that it's safe because there's a whole process behind the production of Australian beef.
Now, what does the World Association of Chefs Societies do?
Well, it's an association of chefs, 90 plus member countries. They are an organization of about 10 million chefs. But they have country members and they organize events in the country. They help chefs by organizing competitions. They have a lot of programs, training programs. They hold yearly conferences and things like that.
What is your definition of good food?